So please give an especially warm round of applause to Jens Thomas. He's head of sales and marketing at ChargeCloud. Welcome.
Pleasure to meet you again. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. Thanks for the lovely introduction. It's actually quite good to be back at the ICNC because maybe some of you remember this one. This is me last year wearing the other ChargeCloud hoodie, talking about how requirements in the business around charging stations changed over time. And this is exactly the point of the story that I would like to continue today, but with a slightly different perspective. So, first of all, let's do a little recap of what happened so far. Maybe you've heard a couple of times today already, but let us just sum it up. So, in the very early days of e-mobility, when just a few Tesla Roadsters were driving around, and every new public charging station was celebrated like the opening of an historical monument with C-class celebrities all over the place, business-wise, there wasn't any business at all. Most CPOs were given energy for free, and EV drivers were at least happy to have some opportunities to charge, and were even more happy if these opportunities were working at all. But soon after, requirements changed, the market became more and more mature, and business showed up around the charging. And this is what I was talking about last year. The ultimate goal was then to eventually earn money with selling energy to EV drivers. So far, so well known. Today, I would like to share a look about the most recent development in the charging industry, where it's beginning now to be all about optimizations and improvements, not only to create a shiny customer experience, but also to optimize your processes, to integrate charging business into existing systems, and to also create a good user experience on provider side for your employees, especially when it comes to software. So let's take the perspective of a charge point management software provider, like we are, and step back to the early days of software development. And I guess what I'm telling you now resonates with a lot of you software startups. And this does not only apply to charge point management software providers, but to most startups and software developments. In the very early days, when you're desperately hunting for your first precious customers, you are not really an expert in your market yet. So you're listening to your customers, what they want you to develop to be, to have the best user experience and to make your platform as best as possible. And you're starting to develop these things, and you are not only to close the deals, but to keep those customers. I mean, it's obvious. And in addition to that, as you want to tell the story of not only being market ready, but also being future-proof ready, you start to develop or following short-lived market trends that show up like buzzwords every now and then. And that ultimately leads to, very, maybe not messy development, but you're losing your focus. You're on the one side developing individual features for your individual customers, but also you have the pressure of your very ambitious growth plans. I think this is quite reasonable and understandable for the very, early years, but it comes with a lot of downsides, or with some downsides. I mean, every new feature, every new function you develop needs resources, not only in terms of development, but also in terms of maintenance and updates. Every new feature, every new function you develop needs know-how and experts, because you want your functionalities not only to work at all, but you want them to be the best features in a competitive market. That ultimately needs to, limited resources, unless you have I don't care about money shareholders, and therefore to messy development structures, a spoiled roadmap, higher costs, ultimately to higher prices, a spoiled product market fit, and especially when you're having a white label approach, it's spoiling your one-size-fits-all philosophy as a white label solution provider. So I think that may resonate with some of you. The question now is, that works for a couple of years, but how can you position yourself for the future? And sorry if that may sound a little bit buzzwordish to you, but it's meant in the most honest and literal way possible. We now changed our focus to security, stability, and scalability, with the ultimate goal of having a joint growth approach together with our customers. Because as a software as a service provider, we grow together with our customers. Every new charge point put on the system is an additional revenue stream for us. So we decided not to grow together with some cherry-picked customers, but to grow with all of our customers, with the majority, at least with the majority of our customers. Therefore, we need a reliable and scalable software architecture, which means that we're not focusing on individual solutions for individual customers anymore, but having a scalable architecture that allows not only to handle current data streams, but also the huge amount of data that will come in the near future. And we are not following market trends for the future anymore. We're developing the things that the market, and the market is the base of our customers, actually, needs right now, to only develop the things that the majority of our customers can profit from. Or, to make it short, we're putting the core business back in our focus. So I'm now talking a couple of minutes to you, and you saw the ChargeCloud logo, and I'm pretty sure most of you know what we're doing, but for the very, very few people of you who have no idea what our core business actually is, I would like to introduce you to our company at this point. So ChargeCloud is, we consider ourselves now as a tech scale-up, founded back in 2016, based in Cologne. We had a very rapid growth path behind us. We started with 2 employees. We're now 120 people working remotely from all over the place. And we consider ourselves as an independent charge point management provider with white label cloud solution. And our core business is managing charge points and automating any process that is related to charging session. So anytime when it comes to payment processes, accounting, billing, settlement, management hardware, and managing customer contracts, this is where we shine, and this is where we want to be the best charge point management system in the world. We did quite well, actually, so we have now 40,000 charge points on the system. The platform can handle, or does handle at the moment, 750,000 managed customer contracts. A very open system, so literally any OCPP hardware can be connected to the system, but we are also putting a certification process on top to make sure it's not working in some way, but working in a perfect way. That leads to now 300 charging station types connected to the system. We can provide more than 400,000 or access to more than 400,000 roaming charge points in Europe, and we're doing that for more than 330 customers, mainly in the DACH region, but also in other countries in Europe, the US, and Australia. So far, the commercial gap. Back to the actual challenge. So, recap, we have a diversifying, growing demand on the market on the one side, and our focus on core business on the other side. So how can we bridge the gap between market demand and focus, and still focusing on core business, being the expert and best system? So we racked our brain around it and thought about, would it be a good idea to create an ecosystem around our core charge point management system? And then we asked, how can we do that? Is there a way to, create a platform where offer and demand can meet? And no rocket science over there. Yes, there is, and it's called a marketplace. You all know marketplaces where you buy your vegetables, fruits, fake brand clothes for last time birthday presents, whatever. We know this from the physical world. It's as old as mankind. That's the place where demands and offers meet, This is the place where knowledge is being exchanged and ultimately value is being created. So how can we transfer that in a digital world? Again, no need to reinvent the wheel here. Do you know digital marketplaces? Anyone? Just shout. Digital marketplaces somewhere? Amazon? What? Upstock? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You get my point. Marketplaces already established in our daily life, like Amazon, eBay, Craigslist, whatever. So, but do we also know strictly B2B-oriented marketplaces? And again, yes, we do. It's already been done all over the place. We know it from our favorite ERP system, like SAP, Oracle, Azure, whatever. They already creating marketplaces where you can book additional software, additional services to spice up the ERP experience. You can book additional blockchaining tools, tax tools, security tools, but it does not end there. It does not necessarily have to be software. You can book education, consultancy, whatever. You also know it from the CRM world, Salesforce, HubSpot, Pipedrive, where you can book additional emailing automation, accounting tools, data management, whatever. And again, a lot of consultancy. So here we are, knowing that this is already a thing that you can do, and still dealing with demand and offer. So why shouldn't we do that? Because in the charge point management world, such things as marketplaces do not exist right now. So that's exactly what we do. We're happy to announce that last week we launched our Charge Marketplace, the platform where demand and the charging ecosystem can meet several offers of experts. To give you a few examples, imagine you're a CPO and you want to take part in GHG trading. You can do it, try to do it on your own. Back in the days, our customers were asking us as a charge point management system, can you do GHG trading for us? We tried and weren't really experts in it. No, we weren't. So we closed that. It's not part of our core business. What we can do now is link to professional GHG trading service providers via our marketplace, already connected technical-wise to the Charge Cloud, so that the data exchange isn't a problem. You're a CPO and you want, excellent user experience. Also for the case that a charge point is not running and you want to have professional fault management. What you need is a hotline, obviously. Are we a hotline provider as a charge point management software provider? No, we aren't. Why shouldn't we? But we know the best hotline providers in the EV industry out there, and we can link to them via the marketplace. Another quite well-known use case. You have dozens of chargers at one location, maybe a depot or something, and you want to connect those chargers to your power management system of your production site, for instance. Can we provide sophisticated dynamic load management via the charge point management system? No, we can't. We're not the experts in it. We provide basic load management via the OCPP protocol. But we know the experts out there who can, add additional hardware, additional software logic to cover exactly that use case. Now, think a little bit away from the most obvious cases. Imagine you're an MP and you want to add customer loyalty programs for maybe also data fetching to your product. And are we providing such solutions? No, we don't, but you all know who are the providers out there who provide, for instance, cashback systems within the charging industry. Now they're on the marketplace and can be directly connected to our customers. Last example here, as this is an ever-growing thing at the moment, especially when it comes to bigger customers who consider the charging business mostly as a side business. They want to have the charging data logic being integrated in their existing logic. So can we provide those integrations? Yes, we can. And we can that in a really professional way. Do we have the resources for it? Maybe not. Maybe we have other things to do. So now we can link to external agencies who can do digital interaction layers to make different systems work together. So it does not end here, endless opportunities. What we also do is implementing a certification process for our market partners so that our customers can count on reliable business models. They can count that we only connect to trustworthy partners that have a proven track record, and to follow our scalability philosophy, easy contract handling that can be applied to every new partner on the marketplace. But it's also important for technical reasons, as you want to have a reliable and scalable data exchange between our customers and those partners, to have the ability to set up easy support and maintenance for it, and have a seamless integration in our scalable software architecture. At this point, and I think I'm running a little bit out of time, I wanted to do a deep dive in terms of connectivity. Maybe we can quickly go through it. This is just high level. The experts of you can, maybe can be a little bit distracted. I want to show you two different ways to connect software together. One is REST API, which is a request and response based thing to do. With API, you can have read and write access to specific system components of the core system, so in this case, our charge point management system. And the connection is established via a secure basic auth connection and application key. So that comes with a lot of advantages, as you can integrate Charge Cloud tasks into your existing workflows by providing a high grade of automation, and you have a direct connection between your system and, for instance, the Charge Cloud. But there are also downsides to it, as APIs somehow are expensive in terms of maintenance and updates, and they're real-time request-based only. So every time you're waiting for data change, you have to request and request and request until the actual change happens and you get the new data. And there's also programming and maintenance effort on the customer side to be done as well. I brought a case from an Austrian energy supplier that I'm not allowed to say the name due to lack of permission, but they had exactly that use case. They have their familiar ERP system, and user data, so EV driver data, to be stored in the ERP and in the Charge Cloud and being processed in both systems. So what we did is building a digital interaction layer, between the ERP system of the utility and the Charge Cloud, so that every time new data is being created in the ERP system, it's mirrored in the Charge Cloud and can be processed in both systems, while the employers can still work in their familiar environment. The other way to do it, so to connect or to exchange data between systems, is via events. So events are machine-readable, mostly JSON files that contain information about activities in the Charge Cloud, and they are, pushed into the ether, and you can fetch the data in an asynchronous way, which means that the whole system is based on a sender and subscription model. So you subscribe to certain you subscribe to events, and whenever they are pushed, they are available, and you can decide whether you will want to fetch the data or not. So it's an asynchronous exchange of data. That comes with a lot of advantages, as this is the more modern way to do it. So you get direct notification when data has changed. You have you can customize your content. You can, and this is combining old and new technology, export this data to SFTPs or webhooks, and they can be integrated in existing systems more easily. There's still some disadvantages to it, especially in the Charge Cloud, as you cannot restrict the amount of data that is being sent, but these are just minor issues. And overall, events are the thing to do. I brought a case from the MVV, as they are using events for reimbursing company fleet charging events. So you all know that employees with company cars are charging at home and they want their money to be reimbursed for those charging sessions. And back in the days, the charging data was stored in the charge cloud and had to be exported manually every month by the MVV to integrate it into the payroll system and then start the reimbursement process. So what we do now is storing an SFTP server. This is, again, old technology in the charge cloud, pushing events to that SFTP server every time a charging session took place. Then the data is automatically fetched by the payroll system and the reimbursement process can be initiated. Deep dive end, back to our ecosystem with the marketplace. As I stated, we launched it last week. Still already have some partners on board. I'm happy to announce Electrofortite as a GHG trading service. SIG Mobilisis is providing or covering the demand for charge point owners who don't want their charge points to be blocked by combustion cars, as they provide integrated parking sensors, which is, I think, a really, really good thing to do. And Ladeplan is offering KI-based algorithms to provide CPOs with some logic and helpful advices for their new locations to deploy charging stations. So with the Ladeplan helps you to find the perfect location for charging chargers. And Tektronic, we already introduced that at some fair recently, I forgot the name, is providing credit card terminals, which may become relevant in the next years. So this is the current state of marketplace. A lot of partners already in negotiations, and we're happy for any new partner to show up to cover the diversified demands of our customers. So in the end, we're able to create a win-win-win situation, as the marketplace participants can get instant and easy access to our customers who are, having very diversified demand. Our customers can profit from having the experts done the experts' work, and we can profit from, focusing on our core business, making ChargeCloud the best charge point management system, ready for the future and ready for world domination. So that's it for the moment. Thank you very much for your attention. I'm happy. Stop it. I'm happy to talk to a lot of you, maybe potential marketplace partners. That's it. Thank you very much. And I'm also happy to answer questions, but please no technical ones. I'm just the sales guy.
Jens, first of all, I want to say thank you for your energy and for your very interesting presentation. I know it is not easy to be, at the end of the very full day, but I commend your energy, and you can see how full the room is. So clearly, people were very interested in what you had to say. We can take a couple of minutes if anybody has a quick question for Jens. Or we just want to, do we have any from our app? No. You know what? I have a feeling, Jens, that tonight at the evening party is when people with the beer in their hand are going to approach you, and then they're going to have the courage and the focus to speak to you and to ask all their specific questions. So I would like to hear a particularly warm and enthusiastic round of applause once again for Jens. Exactly. From ChargeCloud. So Jens, you're off the hook. You can go relax at the end of day one, unless you had a final word for...
Enjoy the evening. Well, one thing. I think Eugen from McKinsey was it who had it as a pitfall of scalability, that the trust into partnerships. And I would like to encourage everyone and to restore the faith in partnerships, but only partner up with experts. This is what I would like to say. Don't trust anyone, partner up with experts. Therefore, we certify every partner, so maybe it's a good idea to partner up with us. That's it.
Very good advice. Thank you
Yeah.
very much for that. So thank you again.
Bye-bye.